Businessmen always think that every flight is a private plane of theirs that we're all like piggybacking on.
A piggyback is a children's game where the little child will climb up on the back of the adult, and the adult will carry them around. It's also used to convey the idea of one idea on top of another, or oftentimes one device literally on top of another device. Good example there is that a 747 was used to piggyback the space shuttle from its landing runway back to its launch runway. Or similarly, shipping containers are piggybacked on top of flatbed rail cars to transport them between different places. In the world of ideas, piggyback is used to convey a similar meaning, where you could have let's call it a primary idea, and then you piggyback a second idea on top of the first idea using some of the arguments for the first idea to justify the second idea as well. Or you could have some type of device or a computer program where you could have the basic computer program, and then you can piggyback other applications on top of the basic program. So for example, with a smartphone, you will have your basic system, the Android operating system or the Apple operating system, and then you can piggyback applications on top of the original operating system. So piggyback means to be up on the back and shoulders of something, either real or in a metaphorical sense. For example, a private healthcare facility piggybacking on some federal hospital or some private hospital. A lot of companies have corporate jets, which they use to transport their executives. And oftentimes they let other employees piggyback on top of the flights that they're going to make, even though they're not as important as they are for the executives. A friend of mine, he wrote a successful application for his company. So he was able to piggyback on top of that one success to get additional projects, which he was also successful at, and that's how he got to be such a high-level executive at the company. There's a new tax that the government wants to put into place, so they piggybacked the new tax on top of the old tax.
Your Aunt Jowlena has died and gone to be with Jesus. That's kind of presumptuous.
Presumptuous means to presume or make assumptions about something incorrectly, about a social situation. So typically it will refer to somebody being overly forward, overly aggressive, overly friendly, overly whatever, within the context of the social event. So if it's a cocktail party, people are sort of expected to talk somewhat quietly and not make too much noise. So if somebody is too noisy, they're said to be presumptuous. So somebody who is presumptuous is not observing the limits of the social encounter and is not doing what is permitted or appropriate and is overdoing it. I had to go to a few parties last weekend, and the first party was a formal party. The second party was casual. So I thought it would be too presumptuous if I went to the second party still in my formal outfit. So I took off my tie, took off my coat, changed my shirt, and went casual. So I would fit in with the second party. At Christmas parties, it's very important for people to be careful, not drink too much. If they drink too much and start acting wild and crazy, then the bosses consider that to be presumptuous, outside of the bounds of what's expected at an office party. At a lot of funerals, people do tend to drink too much. So people have to be careful not to drink too much at funerals, because of all places, it's not a good place to get presumptuous. My friend, he lost his job, and I did want to give him some advice on what he could do, but I didn't want to seem too presumptuous by assuming that he might actually want to hear my advice.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world, using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
Click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.